Hello, welcome to another episode of the Daily Telegraph NRL Podcast. Adam Mobbs here with Brent Read and Michael Carrianis, and we'll have to swap out this these colours here and turn it into confidential because all everyone's talking about at the moment is Nathan Cleary and Mary Fowler, sporting couple of the world.
Well, Readie's our relationship expert. Take it away, Readie.
It was a bit of a. I suppose it was a secret. Was it a secret? Well, it probably wasn't. It got out a while ago, and they're pretty private about it. But it's a real power couple, isn't it? I mean, Nathan's obviously arguably the best player in rugby league. Mary Fowler, not the best player in Australian football, but she's in the top three, I would think.
Yeah,
and obviously those photos have emerged now of them cuddling and hugging. Oh, it's so beautiful. Love is in the air, guys. I love it. You love it, Mick? You're a romantic at heart.
Come on.
And you're a big football fan too, which is good.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
You watched a lot of the Matildas, don't you?
Love it.
Do you know any Matildas?
Yeah.
Who?
Mary Fowler.
Any others?
Sam Kerr.
Any others?
Claire Polkinghorn.
Okay, big fan.
Yeah.
Okay, good on
Caitlin
you.
Ford.
Yeah, gotcha.
Jeff Catley?
That's enough. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's cute, isn't it? We love a little power.
Well, you guys are Sport Confidential. This is right up your alley, I
This
thought.
is right up his alley.
It's a
I like
clickathon,
writing about sport.
Yeah,
actually.
he's credible, the credible
Like-
one of our two of us. I'm the one who drags in the gutter.
Like one of my former colleagues that I shared the column with. This is right up his alley.
Yes.
Hey, Christian.
Be interesting
thanks for
how that
watching.
works, though, because I mean, obviously she spends a lot of time overseas.
How would you? What would you do? Have you had a long distance relationship before?
I had a long distance relationship for a year.
Talk us
Did you?
through it.
A lot of time on the phone.
Yeah.
My wife and I, we were separated by a state. Not
State.
Not
not an
17,000
ocean, right?
17,000 kilometres.
Pre-mobile phones.
That was yeah, it was, yeah.
Was there anything worse? I'm old enough to know, like when you used to ring the landline to a girl's
To
house,
a girl. Oh.
and the parents would pick up the phone, but
Tough
so I was
go.
like old enough to be able to coordinate it through like chat-in or you know what I mean, like and
Nah,
then you
I
go
didn't have
pick
that.
up the home phone because that's
No.
not my go.
But the worst part on top of that was the phone call would only stretch so far, so you would have a private conversation. I had an older sister and a younger brother who were nothing more than sneak past and a couple of
I
snide
had
remarks.
two older sisters. I created some chaos on the landline.
Oh, did you? When they were talking
were you
to
a
the
bit of a
boys.
Lothario, were you? Or what's that?
No.
You're
I
wrapping
was-
yourself, eh?
No.
Oh.
I was annoying them.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
fair enough then.
An annoying younger brother.
I knew you were saying it's just doing, yep.
Anyway.
Anyway, back to Nathan.
Yeah. Well,
Look, I mean, it's good for him. You know, we've seen, I think, with some footballers when they get into relationships, it settles them down. You know,
Well, he's gonna play better,
He's
is
now
he?
in a relationship. Maybe he'll play better. Maybe his game will go to
Yeah.
another level.
And if it doesn't,
Well, then we'll bag him and say he's ruined his life.
it's very early. It's early
very
November.
early.
No. It's early November,
Yeah.
and this is what we've already sunk to. What's it going to be like in a couple of weeks?
what do you mean sunk to? This is all people are talking
This
about
is
at the
huge
moment.
news, mate.
And what about
It was all over the Today Show this morning.
what about this? So she flies back because she's got a game on Sunday, Manchester City,
yeah.
straight away, and then Nathan Cleary goes over there in February for the World Club Challenge. But
Is that confirmed?
Well, if he goes, but
Okay.
around Feb 23.
Can we
but-
talk about MASH or something?
Mobbsy's trying to coordinate their day
yeah.
schedule.
Well, while he's over there, she's flying back for Olympic qualifiers, so they miss an opportunity. Christmas is their only chance to see each other because they get a month break, the WSL over there, and Cleary breaks for about 2 weeks. So
Okay.
I'm invested in this relationship.
You know why I'm laughing? Because Mobbsy randomly asked me, I'm going to have an off-air conversation on air. Hey, when do the clubs break up for Christmas? Now I know why.
I didn't ask you for context, I just wanted an answer.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Anyway.
All right, let's move on. Other sporting couples. No. So
Who is the country's premier sporting couple at the moment?
that'd
do you
have to
think?
be there. Oh, light years ahead, aren't they?
Okay.
Have we got anyone else at the moment? That we did a list yesterday. Did we come up with any?
Of current athletes that are Alyssa Healy and Mitchell Stark.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah,
That's a very good power couple.
Okay. I'll
And
take
longevity
Yes.
as well. It's important.
Yes.
that. Yeah. There's a few that didn't last the distance, isn't there?
Why is longevity important when you just rank your power couples? It doesn't matter.
Well, it does.
What's that
They
matter?
should get bonus points.
Oh, okay. Bonus point. Are you going to rate them out of 10 and give bonus points?
No.
Actually,
No.
there's a good, I can't think of it, there's a good sporting couple, and I can't remember either of their names. She's an Australian track star, and he's an
Great story.
AFL player. I think it's Celeste Mucci, and she's with an AFL guy from Greater Western Sydney. There's a good
Right.
power
We've got
couple.
obviously Millie Boyle and Adam Elliott.
Oh,
Yep.
that's a good one, yeah. Oh, there's some around, yeah.
Nate Miles, Tessa James.
I did a cross on SEN this morning, and Trent Copeland was the co-host, and we're talking about this. I said, "What about you, mate?" And Kim Green.
Oh, very good one.
Yeah.
Well done.
Very
Look at
talented.
that. See, when you push yourself, Mick, you can.
No, I
you
remember
can
doing
get
a
involved in the
story just
conversation.
before their wedding. I was at the leader. They lived in the area.
Yeah.
Went to their house, did a story.
What did he say when you said that to him?
He got a little bit awkward. He goes, "Don't make me air your dirty laundry." I'm like, "It's your wife, man. How's that dirty laundry?"
Fair enough.
Nothing's more famous than Clinton Newton going from
Yeah.
dating Jennifer Hawkins to being RLPA boss.
That was a blunder.
Do you reckon your ex would say the same about you, Readman?
Probably, yeah.
See you on TV, go, oh, there's the one that got
That's the
away.
one that broke my heart.
I know I started
Get out
this.
there, girls. 3 men sticking on you.
Inflatable trees.
What is he on
going on
about?
here?
He's telling stories. I'll tell you that story. I'm not going to tell that story. I used to have a share accommodation with my mate, the Fish, Dimitri, if you're watching, listening. And one day I came home, it was when I was in my mid-20s, and I've opened the door of the unit we lived
I've got
in,
the dump button ready.
and there he's down on all fours, hidden behind an inflatable palm tree. He bought an inflatable palm tree to decorate the unit. Yeah. That's the story.
Wow.
Well, it gets better, but I can't. It goes a bit off
So you
track.
tell the worst part of the story, and okay. All right.
It's the only bit I can tell.
Click on the subscriber only section of the podcast.
NRL podcast at night.
Well, look, let's go from one Nathan Cleary alleged partner to another. Jarome Luai.
Wow.
November 1.
Yeah.
Where's he going? What's going on? His Instagram post this morning after Ivan Cleary had some very
Strange
interesting
quotes,
things
weren't
to
they?
say yesterday. So Ivan, if you missed this, Ivan was asked, was Jarome worth the $1 million? And he said, well, because I've got no doubt that he could be, but has he proven it yet? No. He hasn't been asked to do it, I guess, at Penrith, and he maybe suggested that he hadn't done it for Samoa. So it's a change in where he is in his career, but he's got no doubt that he could probably get there. But was he just speaking honestly? Was he talking him down to try and keep him? What's going on?
Ivan's right, in a way that, you're buying Jarome to be your main man. And at Penrith, he hasn't had to be the main man. So that's all fact.
Has he not had to be when Nathan's been out, though?
I don't think so, because they've had Cogger and Sullivan running the ship still, and Jerome's played. With Jerome's strength, he's been loose and a bit free-spirited, and that which is great for Penrith in that structure of Yo and Cleary, very structured, right? Luai's the off-the-cuff, and I thought he's arguably the harder one to replace at Penrith, because it's hard. It's very difficult to find that sort of role, right? That sort of player for him in that structured environment. But Ivan wasn't having a crack.
No.
But that is a fair point. And
Did he not do it for Samoa?
He did do it for Samoa.
to a World
Yeah.
Cup final.
Samoa's-
Which is a pretty significant
yeah,
achievement.
definitely.
And he was their main man.
Yeah.
And before Nathan came along, I'm told, I mean, I haven't really looked into this, but apparently, coming through the grades at Penrith, he was always the main man in the footy teams he
10
played in.
years ago,
It was only
12
when
years
Nathan
ago.
came along. But I'm saying it's not as if he hasn't been in that role.
Well, under
He just
16s.
hasn't. Well, he's still done it at some point, Mick. Sorry, I'm not.
Samoa's a good point, but
Yeah.
you're talking Harold Matson.
Well, he's done it though. I'm saying he's been the main man during his career at points. Maybe not in the NRL. Yes, I'll give you that. But I'm saying there's been times during his career he's done it.
How do you-
Don't laugh at me, mate.
How do you two get a column out together when you disagree?
Anyway, he was the main
everything?
man at the World Cup. All right, that was pretty significant.
That
He took
that's
Samoa to a
good-
final.
Stick to that point.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So I think it's a bit unfair on Jarome to suggest he can't do it, even to insinuate he can't do it. And the fact is, you are worth what someone is willing to pay you. So to suggest he's maybe not worth $1 million, well, you know what? If he goes to the open market, or when he goes to the open market, he will get $1 million. So that's what he's worth. Now, it's whether you get value for the pay packet out of it. That's the issue.
I think that's what Ivan was intimating. I don't think Ivan's will know that someone will pay him more than $1 million. But I think he said, well,
Who's going to pay him, Mick? What do you got?
I think there's only 1 or 2 clubs in Sydney that would go there. It won't be the Dragons.
Yeah.
Won't be the Dragons, will it, Readie?
No, it won't be the Dragons. After I suggested it, I received a text message saying,
Shan't be happening.
yeah.
Tigers are the
Leave
one,
the
right?
recruiting to me.
We'll have
said
something.
A certain person.
But you said, but he ran the show at under 16s.
Yeah.
Was that your response?
No,
No, it should have been.
no. I just pointed out it was an opinion piece. That's all.
We'll have something in Sport Confidential about the Tigers
Yeah.
having an interest and some interesting quotes from Jerome that he used to idolise Benji. Benji was his star player that he really looked up to. So
And they know each other. They were roommates and teammates with Maori All Stars.
the Maori All-Stars,
2 or 3 years ago. And that's when Jerome made those quotes. Basically said he loved Benji from the age of 5 when he saw him in the 05 grand final. Had a Tigers towel, grew up with a Tigers towel that used to dry himself with every day. Heartwarming story. Obviously, for Tigers
nice.
fans
And
out there.
the Smokies Canterbury, right?
Yeah.
Given the Stephen Crichton and Cameron Ciraldo connection and their desperate search for a half, I think they're the Smoky. For mine.
there's no doubt.
They're the two clubs, Readie?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think anyone else is really in the, clubs that need halves. If you think about them, maybe Canberra, but Canberra aren't going to go with Jarome Luai. He just doesn't fit their club. The Dragons, not interested. And that's about it, really. And Canterbury's interesting, right? Because obviously Matt Burton's been unconvincing. I think there's a lot of people who think Matt Burton's actually a world-class centre, not necessarily a world-class 6 or 7. So they're in dire need of a half.
He could even start the year at centre, Matt Burton.
Who plays 6 if that's the
I
case?
think there'll be Drew Hutchinson and Toby Sexton in the halves.
Geez, no offence, guys. That's an unconvincing halves pairing for
Blake
me.
Taffet, fullback potentially with Crichton and Burton in the centres
centre pairing.
with Addo Carr and Kiraz. Like the 1 to 5 was pretty potent.
Great. You think Addo Carr will be there?
I'm not convinced.
They're off him at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah.
Let's be
Well, that's
let's
pretty
be
I
honest.
still think there's a bit to play out there. I think what it will be is if Canterbury, if someone emerges on the open market that Canterbury want, then Addo Carr will be the one to potentially shift, or those clubs that are mentioned, the Knights, the Dragons, the Tigers, and the Eels, put someone to Canterbury, and that conversation happens, then you never know. So I'm not guaranteeing that Addo Carr will be at the Dogs next year.
I've got to say the other thing about Ivan's comments and the feedback to that, right? I reckon Jerome be looking at that going, I can be the main man.
Yeah,
I want to be the main man.
It could light the fire.
Right? It could actually prompt him to lead.
We haven't gone to the Instagram post yet.
No, we haven't got there yet. So
what happened there, Mick? What do you got for the fans?
I can speak from experience on this one.
Let's just be very careful, Mick. You don't need another feud.
No, there's no feud. Jerome has gone to Instagram and he's had a subtle dig at Ivan Cleary, where he's done an Instagram story and it's "Know Your Worth" is the caption with some 50 Cent music.
Yeah. Look at that. Know your worth.
Hustler's Ambition, I think, is
there?
the song from 50 Cent. So I'm with Readie. What it does is
Lights the fire.
Yeah.
I think it's the type of player and person that he is. He's like, well, if you don't think I can do it, well, guess what?
Yeah.
Maybe I will, and I'll show you.
Yeah.
So is it lighting the fire on the field, or is it lighting the fire off the field to blaze a trail elsewhere?
Both.
I
Both,
think it's more
with him.
the latter. I think if he would see that and go, well, I can do it. If you doubt me, I'll go and do it somewhere else. And well, that's his only choice, right? He can't do it at Penrith because Nathan's there, and Nathan will always be the main man at Penrith.
I kind of want him to leave with this because of the confidence that he has in himself, and the headlines that he grabs. He'll wear it, right? He wears it pretty well, right? He'll come out and he'll know that if he leaves, there'll be the expectation, there'll be the pressure, and he'll own that. He won't shy away from it. So, and then you've got the storyline now with Jarome v Nathan, Jarome v Ivan, and I think it's tantalising.
They've still got 12 months to go together, obviously.
Well, that's it, yeah.
So they're going to have to smooth the waters a little bit, I'd say. I mean, they've obviously known each other a long time.
He'll smooth it.
It won't be hard, but I would imagine there's a phone call that's going to have to take place at some
there's
point.
a conversation that needs to...
Yeah.
And they have been critical
Elaborate.
of Jerome's... The club have been critical of his social media use. So he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course he does. There's always a reason behind the rhyme.
It's all a bit of theatre.
Yeah. It's entertaining.
I said to Readie this morning, we were talking on the way, and I said, wouldn't it be funny if Jerome had a crack on Ivan on Instagram?
Yeah.
And you're like, he would. Like, I was like, oh, no, he wouldn't do that. And then, ooh.
But I hope he keeps doing it, at some point.
I hope he puts you... Can you say something about him?
What, Jarome? I love Jarome. Mate, how often have I defended him? He's second only to Latrell Mitchell in my defence portfolio.
Sean Kepi's third.
Your man.
My man.
I like the bravado. I like,
Yes.
he's going to have his critics, and that shouldn't deter him from having an opinion,
No.
because I love the fact that he does. I love the fact that he's out there and he combats people. But you look at guys like Jackson Hastings as well. If he sees something on social media he disagrees with, he'll make mention of it. And he does it in a more polite way, but and that's not a criticism either. It's just the way it is. But that's the platform that it's there for, so they can have it. And I like the audience. I like the fans getting to see a bit more of their personalities and who they are, because we miss that a lot.
You need blokes like that in the game. It's so sanitised now at times, and guys like that's why I love Latrell. Latrell always speaks his mind.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what's going on or off the field. Latrell has an opinion, and he's not afraid to express it. Jarome's the same. There's too many guys in this game at times who are just a bit bland.
And the thing is with Jarome doesn't hide. Like, generally speak, like if you went up, like if he has a bad game, he fronts up. If he has a good game, he fronts up, right? So, and then if he's not happy with you, just give you a cheeky touch up on Instagram.
Call you a Gronk.
Call you a Gronk.
You've made up.
Yeah, we're full.
I did screenshot that. I've kept it. It's just my favourite.
Oh, we all have.
Anytime I'm feeling down, I just look at it and go,
I know. The rats was a nice touch.
How many times do you reckon I got that sent to me in the space of half an hour?
Mate, he made you famous.
Infamous.
But that's good. I like that. I want to see that continue. And
he's been busy. Well, he'd obviously smashed me up, smashed hoops up with the eggs. That was quite funny. And now this after the post Origin stuff too. So he's prolific on his phone.
Yeah. So that's a free agency move we don't know what's going on with at the moment. But there's been a flurry of activity lately, guys. What's been the standout for you in the last couple of days?
I think there's obviously been lots of re-signings, but I think clubs were just dangling. It was pretty funny from some clubs. Like the Jai Arrow deal was done weeks ago. Lucky Croker was done a couple of weeks ago. Dallin was done. Dallin Watney-Lesniak was done. So, but they just announced them around that November 1. I like it. It's a bit of theatre. It rolls in with nicely. So no major surprises for mine.
Well, the difference is now, right? November 1's a strict date now.
Yeah.
So previously you would have had talks going on in the background. So when November 1 came around, generally clubs, or some clubs are in position to announce some deals. It's going to be a bit slower this time because clubs haven't been able to go and negotiate with Jarome or go and negotiate with some of the Dragons boys who are November 1 guys. So I think it's been a bit tepid the start of November 1. But I reckon in terms of not re-signings but rival club signings. But I think that's going to kick off the next week or two. I just got a feeling leading into Christmas it's going to be pretty active.
And so if you're the fan of a club, let's say the Cowboys, for example, Tom Dearden is available now. The longer he remains unsigned, the more concerned you get, or do you think there's going to be issues?
I think those players they're in line for massive payday. Like he's in line for a big payday. That's where it gets nervous for clubs, right? Where some other players that are on the market. Look at the Dragon, like Jaden Sewer, Moses Sully. What they're getting paid is basically their market value. So there's not that huge discrepancy. There's some other guys that Ezra Mann, huge payday.
He's not leaving.
But he's in for a huge payday, right, compared to his current deal. So
I spoke to someone close to him yesterday, and they basically said, look, if just say he gets 800 out of Brisbane, which he'll probably get 800 grand, right? Mate, for him to leave, to say come to Sydney for 1.1 million, it's 300 grand difference. It's a lot of money, right? You lose half in tax. There's a higher cost of living. He's got to pay an agent's fee out of that. In the end, it's probably less than $100,000.
Yeah.
And to stay in Brisbane and win comps up there, which he has the potential to do, you would have to make Ezra Mam a monster offer to get him out of the Broncos. So he's one guy I don't think that'll be going anywhere. And he's obviously gone to market, but I think that's more circumstances. I think his agent's overseas, and it's just been a bit more difficult. But he won't be going anywhere. But there are some guys. I mean, Dearden's an interesting one, right? Because they've made him an offer, and the offer's been on the table, the Cowboys, for weeks now. Yeah. But it's just not enough. And they're in a really difficult salary cap position up there with Helam Lukey's going to market, even though he's got an option. There's some other guys. Who else was there? Help me.
I think Nanai's locked in, isn't he?
Nanai's locked in long term.
They've got an extra season out of Jordan McLean, which isn't going to.
But anyway, they've got some guys like Tomalolo, Val Holmes on long-term deals, so they're really restricted in what they can do in terms of the salary.
The year after.
Oh, and the young Tongan kid who's, I'm not going to. He's in line for a huge upgrade in pay. So they've just got a lot of balls in the air, the Cowboys, and it just leaves them a little vulnerable.
Yeah.
And Dylan's a good footballer.
They're not going to be able to keep them all, are they, in that situation?
No, I wouldn't have thought so.
Readie read an interesting column around Tomalolo.
Oh, the fact, he's got 4 years left on his deal, Jason. And I mean, that deal never goes over $1 million, but it's still, if he was on the open market now, what do you reckon he'd be worth, Mick?
Fine Fuaki, I think that's how I don't want to mispronounce his name. So
he's on minimum wage next year.
Apologise if I had, but
he's going to get offers over around the $300,000-$400,000 mark.
Easy,
which they would not have anticipated, right? That wouldn't have been in their thinking heading into this next year or the year after. Sorry, so they would have budgeted for him, but nowhere around the money that he's not a North Queensland boy. He's grew up in Mile Hood, Ipswich. So
what do you do with Jason Tomalolo? 4 years left on a deal worth about 900, 950. His market value now would be 650, 700. If I'm looking for someone in the Cowboys,
put him out there,
I'd sell him. I'd try and sell him because he's valued. Some club will find there'll be value for him on the open market at 700.
Remember when Todd Payton tried to get that little bit of change in his game, and there was a little bit of angst around it at the time, and how to best use him. Is there a different way to use Taumalolo, or do you need that 60 minutes of him where it is, or do you lower the minutes and increase the impact?
If you lower the minutes, you're just not getting value for money out of him, are you? I mean, the easy thing for the Cowboys to do, there was a club went through the front door to them, knocked on the front door spoke to the CEO and said, "We'll take Luciano Leilua off your hands. It'll free up salary cap space for you to keep all these guys." And the Cowboys said no. Todd Payton does not want to let him go. That's the easiest way they could have fixed the problem. Tom Leilua is a more difficult problem just because of he's got such a connection with the Cowboys. You're going to have to carry some freight for him. No one's going to pay his full amount. 4 years left. Whilst Leilua, the club that went to them, they were happy to pay his full wage, which is around, I think it's around $750 or something. So I just think Tom Leilua, he's a difficult move for them.
Well, it was always an interesting signing, Leilua, wasn't it? Because you had Lukey and Nanai coming through, and obviously they invested long term, not a lot of money, but in guys like Ruben Cotter. So he's going to need an upgrade now. Who would have? They obviously saw the potential in him because he's
a massive upgrade too.
Cohen Hess is a contract.
One of the best value deals, isn't it? Jeez.
To be fair to the Cowboys, when they re-signed him, he was coming off massive injury problems. He hadn't played a lot of footy, so they put a bit of faith in him. But he's rewarded them over the last couple of years on a wage of significantly below what he's worth. So at some point, they're going to have to. Basically, he's a W wage guy. So they've got to find this money.
Oh, yeah. Good luck with them.
Yeah.
So, anything else free agency we need to look at the moment? Anything whispering around? There's a couple of things that we think might be happening, but I don't think we can talk about those yet. We'll have to have a look, but it's
nothing yet.
No, well, I don't want to take away from your column stuff that's coming out this weekend, but I will ask you, what were your thoughts on the Latrell, Mitchell and Jack Wighton situation this week out of court? And for those who are living under a rock, charges dismissed from that alleged Canberra street fight. Police officer admitted in court that his statement did not marry up with what the CCTV footage showed, which big concession there. And I know legally Latrell and Jack couldn't have said much between, what was that, January and now, but massive vindication for those guys. And, it's, I don't want to get in too much into the wider ramifications of that. But they've gone through a lot this season as a result of that now. Yeah. So
it looks like they'll take civil action over it. I saw their lawyers, one of their lawyers talking this morning on TV about it. it's just a sad situation. You know, they've obviously been, by the looks of it, targeted. And as you said, it's put them through the ringer this year. Latrell's had a tough year.
Yeah.
So at least he's got some vindication at the end of it.
Yeah.
And it's a relief. It's good news for the code, right? They're two of the most high-profile players in the comp.
Good
news for South.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Can you see the NRL looking at any further action about bringing the game into disrepute?
Nah.
They wouldn't, would
No.
Well, it'd be hard. That's a tough PR
Surely they've been
battle.
punished enough. Just
Yeah,
the way it's been
absolutely.
drawn out.
And I'm not suggesting they should be. I was just, obviously the NRL will then have an investigation into the situation and whatever they deem okay. But you'd be a brave man to
worse,
say...
it was skylarking. You're going to punish every player for
Yeah,
exactly.
mucking around.
Yeah, Mick and I do it all the time. Have a wrestle.
On the palm tree.
I've got him covered too.
Very, very concerned. Now, Mick, we have a stack of listener/reader questions.
I know.
You want to jump into it?
It's almost 2 pages, Mick.
A couple of emails, which is always good. Thanks to those people that sent the email. Email address again is michael.carianis, CARAYANNIS, @news.com.au. Readers, Raider Jim. Hey guys, I love the podcast. What do you think of Nick Meaney to the Raiders? Haven't had a good quality fullback for a couple of seasons. I think he'd be a good fit. Thoughts? Maybe Readie could investigate this for us.
Oh, okay. I did ring around about Nick Meaney this week actually, and he's in talks with Melbourne. They're pretty confident that he will extend. He's had a chat to Craig about what his role will be, because obviously Ryan Pappenhausen will be fit next year, or they'd imagine he would. So Nick's looking for a move. He'll move to the centres.
Yep.
Provided he'll move to the centres next year, and then beyond that, play there long term if he stays in Melbourne. I think they're confident they'll get a deal done. And look, the Raiders have got obviously Sebastian Chris, Xavier Savage.
Xavier Savage is the one.
The one they've got's a young kid, and I've forgotten his name. Chevy Stewart.
Raider Jim, keep an eye on him. He's got a 4-year deal at your club. I think the 4th year is an option in his favour, but
he's been compared to Billy Slater by
from the Sharks. They pinched him.
Yes, Cronulla weren't happy when he left. There was a little bit of toing and froing behind the scenes, I think, there.
He'll play first grade next year, I reckon, at some point.
And very, showing this, Charles Nickel-Clockstar lost his place at the Raiders when Xavier Savage came through. Xavier Savage played 1 NRL game this season. Yeah. The rest of the time in reserve grade on the wing, because Chevy Stewart was there at fullback. That shows you what sort of faith the Raiders have in this
And
kid.
they've got Jordan Rapinoe as well, play fullback. So they're pretty well off for fullbacks. Sorry, Jim.
He's a good player, Nick Meaney.
Not pushing Meaney there.
No, but I think they've got plenty to look forward to.
All right, Travis. He goes, hi, Michael.
Travis Main.
Big fan of your pod.
Shout out to Travis Main.
That's a shout out to Buzz too, who keeps calling
your
it his
pod.
pod.
Your pod.
I listen every week.
It's not Travis Main, he thinks you're a gibberer.
In regards to international test, I remember as a kid watching Australia A v Australia in the cricket. It was fantastic with the young guys v the incumbents. Do you think that would work in rugby league? Do you think the A team could have a win? And what would the team look like if you're a selector? Who might coach? I would love to see a young guy like Payton with a Wayne Bennett type mentoring.
It's intriguing.
Australia v Australia.
Well, Tonga and New Zealand have just done that, haven't they? Tonga AV New Zealand.
Yeah, they played against. They didn't play Tonga AV.
Oh, didn't they?
Tonga, no.
No, Tonga AV,
Yeah, of
New
course.
Zealand.
Yeah.
But this is Australia AV Australia.
No, I don't like that at all.
It's state
What can't Australia A play in New Zealand A or Tonga
really,
A?
that's state of origin in a way, right?
A little bit, but I like the premise of it's almost NBA All-Stars. I know they've gone back to East versus West for the upcoming season, but it was usually the captains, Team LeBron and Team Steph or Kevin Durant.
Can I ask a question about East v West?
Yeah.
Is that actually geographically determined?
Largely, but there's a few. It's a bit of a squiggly line.
Well, that makes no sense to me, but anyway. Why would they call them East and West if the team on the East Coast is playing the West?
Well, there's an Eastern Conference and a Western Conference, so it's divided that way. But again, geographically, they don't marry up sometimes. So, but
NBA, can you fix it for Readie? Thanks.
But you've got.
Get on it.
Imagine Reece Walsh in an Australia A team at fullback.
I remember watching Australia AV Australia, and I didn't you'd watch it, right?
You were cheering for Australia A,
I know,
right?
so that's why it's not right.
I don't mind the Australia A concept.
Of course.
If they're playing against someone else, it's probably not a bad idea. It's very smart by Tonga and New Zealand to do it. Very smart. When I saw they were playing each other, I thought that's a really good idea.
I don't know if Australia needs it though, because we've had the PM sides are sort of a hybrid Australian team, which gives some of the young guys a go. They had a game a couple of years ago against France, under 23s, I think it was, that played.
Sorry, Trav, he's just bagged you.
Well, I just think
That's the last time Trav calls it your podcast after what you've done to its concept.
I think the Australia's origin in a way.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that covers it off. But as Readie said, I'm quite comfortable with Australia. Went and played some games, but I don't know how thrilled clubs would be.
As a bloke who's so invested in fantasy sports, Supercoach, NFL, poo-poos this idea.
His life's a fantasy.
What's this got to do with fantasy?
Well, the concept of Australia v Australia, right? The idea of it I enjoy. I think imagine pitting some of these guys up against each other. It'd be great, but yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
Sorry, Trav, I'm with you.
Yeah, good on you,
Sorry,
Trav.
Travis.
Travis Main. Sorry, Travis Main.
John, this is more of a statement from John, and he wanted it read out, so I asked for it to be read out. Morgan Smith is assigned for Canberra, and he played in the 2018 England Academy team that had defeated the Australian schoolboys 2-0 in the
Great
series.
game.
I'm assuming that's a series, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was the game was 2-0.
Oh, it could
No, it
be.
would have been a series.
I'm assuming it's a series. Other current NRL targets that played in the series are Jack Wellesby, Harry Newman, Harry Smith.
Oh, good team.
There were some names playing for Australia that would recognise: Zach Sini, Stephen Crichton, Bradman Bairstow, Fatoa, Jason Starb, Jock Madden, Tom Dearden, Matt Dury, Tommy Talau. So they beat a decent side there. And, so I think what John's getting at is that...
well, you've seen what England's done against Tonga in the 2 of the 3 tests so far.
Yeah.
Just been too classy.
Readie's been up watching that.
I haven't watched it, no. I did watch the highlights, though. I think Smithy's just... Did he just get called in the team?
Yeah,
right?
he's on. Yeah,
He just got called in, so... But they got... I mean, Wellesby's obviously a gun. We all know about Jack Wellesby. Played in the World Club Challenge, was that what it's called these days?
Yep.
Was it earlier this year they played Penrith?
Yep,
I can't remember.
Penrith,
yeah, they played him at Penrith. Wellesby outstanding. Harry Newman's a gun kid who's had some injury problems, was going to come out a couple of years ago, didn't come, but again he's on the radar of NRL clubs. And Harry Smith's an interesting one because I don't think he planned on coming. Then he played in the grand final for Wigan, was outstanding, almost one man in the match.
Yeah.
And I think now he's back on the radar. So, look, there's blokes beyond that. Lewis Dodd, St Helens half, who looks
I reckon he'll be out here 25, Lewis Dodd.
Yeah. Well, I think Newman, if he finds a club, will come as well. And Wellesby, his contract's the end of 25, so he's more like a 26 guy. St Helens don't let guys go early traditionally, so but he's the one I think everyone wants, Jack Wellesby.
Nice.
Right.
Anyway, good stuff, John.
Thanks, John.
Yeah, great stuff.
These are from Twitter. If His Royal Highness Shane Flanagan signs Joey Manu for 25, should the Dragons preserve with Torres Sloan at 1 for the 24 season and slot Manu into fullback, or should Lomax take the number 1 position and Manu make the permanent move to 6 or stay in the centres?
Well, they're not getting Manu. Let's be honest. Manu's not leaving the Roosters.
Well,
let's be honest.
Thanks, Brent, for shooting down Brett's question.
I know.
Sorry, Brett. just spitting facts, buddy. Just spitting facts.
But if they do sign Joey Manu, he's playing fullback.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
so
he
I'm
won't
just
leave.
Okay. If he
Do you
does
think he'll leave?
No, I do not.
I know
think he'll-
Flano's keen, but Flano also wants, before he actually progresses it, he wants some indication out of the Manu camp or Manu that he will actually consider it. And you speak to people at the Roosters and they say, Joey ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, yeah. Couple of things on this though. Did you hear Zach Lomax on a podcast this week actually say that his preferred position is 5'8"?
Oh, okay.
That was interesting.
That is interesting.
That was.
Doesn't work for me, Zach Lomax at 6.
But you're not on the board there yet, so it's not up to you.
Well, at the point it's
No, he wants to be head of football.
Head of
Ben
football.
Harron, look out, buddy. He's coming for you.
he knows I'm going for him.
And on the flip side, what about we had yarn this week? We got the full Telstra tracker results this season from high speed, distance covered in games. Readie, you had Tyrell Sloan. I mean, second for the average metres per game
behind Tommy Dearden.
Yeah.
I think the issue is he runs a lot, but I think the concern the Dragons have is that sometimes that's wasted metres or it's not efficient metres.
Right.
I think that's what they want to fix up. But they acknowledge he's a fit guy, can get around the ground, but it's just about his.
There's a lot of development there.
His football acumen and intelligence.
The rawness is all there.
Yeah.
The foundation is there, but there's a lot that needs to develop for him to become.
It's far too early to throw the baby out with the bathwater.
No, but it's an
Tyrell
interesting
Sloan.
time because he's off contract.
Yeah.
It was. I clicked on and had a look at the reader comments on our stories, and a lot of them were saying, don't believe it, lies, made up, blah, blah. Can I just clarify for everybody? These are official stats from the NRL. These are the GPS data in the back of their shirts. These people were picked up at those speeds. You might not believe Micah Servo was third quickest this season, but that max speed is what he was. And it's not like it was an NFL... This will get Mick in. Well, it's not like an NFL draft combine where you're running 40 yards in set conditions. It could be on a dry track at KO Stadium in February or March, or could be on a slog at Belmore in July. You just don't know. But
Readie should have taken all that into account and came up with a final number.
I'd like to put one of those GPSs on when I play football.
What about, so when we played FIFA, Readie used to wear a heart monitor.
Yeah, occasionally back in the day,
Because we'd wear a tight-fitting Arsenal shirt, and it was Arsenal, right?
It was very snug,
And because this is what we used to do on camp when we used to tour. We used to take the PlayStation, and we didn't go out much. We just sat there and just played PlayStation all night. And Readie, heart monitor.
Why?
Just to test it out, see what my heart was like.
Because you should imagine. Could you imagine him playing?
Just to get a bit carried away.
I've heard your stories, so I can understand. What were any peaks?
I can't remember. It was so long ago. Can't remember last week, Mobbsy.
You couldn't remember yesterday, this morning.
I love the fact that you guys are away and your partners are going, oh God, I hope they're behaving over there, and you two are there on the PlayStation.
Well,
just clarify, it was never us that took the PlayStation. It was always my chammy.
Yeah,
Michael
but
Chamis.
with our endorsement,
We played.
We
used to say to ring him, make sure you take a piss.
The others are at the pub. And we'd be like,
this sounds, you're making us appear like nerds. I used to go to the pub, then go there afterwards.
Me and Chummy used to just hang out and play PlayStation.
They are nerds.
You used to get in trouble for playing PlayStation with us.
Yeah, sometimes.
Nerd.
Nerd alert. Oh, you got more questions? Flip the page over.
You're our Queensland correspondent, Readie. Ben wants to know, my early prediction is for the Dolphins to make the top 8. They've recruited their needs rather than signing flashy players. Do you agree, disagree?
Yeah, I agree.
I agree and disagree because they have...
you agree and disagree?
Because
what is this?
I reckon they've recruited their needs, but they have signed some flashy players. I think the way Flegler and Farnworth finished that season off...
Avarello?
Avarello, he's
very fast. So they've recruited some speed as well. So I think they've done both. And I don't think top 8 is a silly call for the Dolphins.
I don't have them in my... I was doing my predictions for... Bristol Ball.
What do you have? What do you got?
They're not in my 8.
I imagine you've got the Dragons in there.
An 8?
Yeah.
Has he listened to a word I've said?
Well, you're a Dragons fan. I thought you might put him
Second last.
Oh, wow. Where's the loyalty?
Who's last?
Tigers.
Ooh.
Oh, Benji. You've turned on Benj.
Who do you have? Who will you have last?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Oh, mate, I'll have the Bulldogs.
They won't come last.
Please.
What about you, Mobbsy? Who's going to come last?
I'm concerned. I think Serrato's got a big job ahead of him in the off-season with that team. I don't think everything's right there at the club at the moment.
So you're saying the Dogs too?
I'm concerned.
Did you have anyone coming in your top 8 from outside? Manly.
Although they're getting Crichton.
I've got heaps, actually.
Crichton's a very good signing, isn't he? I know. They don't have middles, though, do they?
No.
Think of the size that...
Terrible.
Think of the... Who are we talking about now?
Canterbury, sorry.
Yeah. No, I don't have them in my 8. I was just trying to think of who I've got in my 8, but I've got a few coming outside.
Did you bring the Cowboys in?
I had them in, then I took them back out.
Because you look on rosters, Cowboys, Rabbitohs, Eels, Manly.
She would have the Rabbits.
I got South in.
Who missed
I
the
got
8.
South and Manly in.
Yep.
And
No Para.
No Para, no.
Ooh.
And I didn't want to have them in my 8 this year, but I was like, they made the grand final the year before, so I'll regret
this
that
is
one.
chasing. This is what you do when you're betting and you're chasing.
I regret that
good
one.
money with bad money.
Well, there's sides that are going to drop out, right? Who drops out? I don't think Canberra make the 8.
Canberra, yeah.
Canberra's way down from mine.
Cronulla?
Cronulla was the one that I had at 8. Then I put the Cowboys in, and then I deleted it and went back to Cronulla.
What's your love affair with Cronulla?
They're tough. I think Cronulla will eke out games, but I don't like their forward back. I've said that multiple times on here. But they're the ones that I might even flip it again because it hasn't gone to print yet.
Hold on, you should ask the next question and go to that.
Oh yeah, good question.
Yeah.
From Ty.
I think that's Taj.
Yeah.
I think it's Irish, isn't it?
Taj. It is Irish.
What was that AFL
Taj
player?
Keneally. Because you're right. Because I looked up the name and it came up, and I was like, "That's how I got to pronounce it." Sorry, mate. I did research that, and then I buckled. He actually lives in Ireland. I looked at his Twitter profile.
This guy does.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, Irish fans.
Are there any teams other than the Bulldogs? You definitely should have read this out. Bulldogs, Dragons, and the poor Tigers that have no hope of playing finals next year. Personally, I think all of them will feel they have a realistic chance of reaching them next year. So we've just poo-pooed all of them.
You bagged the Raiders.
No, I said, oh yeah.
Yeah.
You said the Raiders. You went like
I went Bulldogs, Dragons, Tigers. Does anyone think any of them can make the 8?
No.
Yeah, here we go. Kool-Aid guy over here.
There we go.
Tigers.
Are you back?
Tigers.
Oh.
I drank the Kool-Aid again.
Are you saying the Tigers are going to make the 8?
No, you're saying, can they make the 8?
Yeah.
I'm saying they can.
I don't think they can. I don't think the Dragons
Tough
can.
forward pack, depends on their halves.
I think the Dogs have more chance.
Yeah, Dolphins going to want to be in the 8.
Dolphins, the other ones I wanted to put in the
Dolphins,
8.
yeah.
Titans under
I
Des.
might put the Dolphins in.
Who are you leaving out?
I don't know.
We've got to save this for our prediction
I might
show.
put the Dolphins
Yeah.
in too.
Good
You got a
question.
lot of teams, so you're going to have Dolphins, Tigers in the 8.
You're going to need a...
Oh, I know what I do, mate. I don't think I'll put the Tigers in.
No.
But the question was, can they?
No.
I don't want to do this Mick in here, but you're going to have to do a wild card game just to
Oh,
put all your
no.
top 8 teams
Wild card
together.
weekend.
Yeah.
Love
No.
Got him.
The only time I'll come at a wild card is when we go to 20 teams. We've got 10 and 10,
Yeah.
and then we can have a wild card.
Oh, good idea.
Then I'm okay with it because you don't really play everyone. There's no equity.
Well, 20 teams is happening at
I know
some
there's no
point.
equity in the draw at the moment, but once against the 20 and they have conferences, all right, I'm in for the wild card.
How many
in that
NFL
instance.
teams do you have? How many are there?
32.
32 with 200, with what, 300 million people, and we're going to 20 teams with 25 million.
No, well, there's another team in New Zealand, PNG. Don't worry, we're going global.
Yeah, we'll be fine, I'm
Going
sure.
global.
Won't fall flat.
Perth
Right.
Jets?
Sam wants to know, Ray for Talamarina to Salford, Readman?
No.
Okay.
No, well, he doesn't want to go. He doesn't want to go there. He's got some interest out of England, but he wants to stay in the NRL. He's got a little bit of time to sort it out. When are they back at training, the Dogs?
A little bit of time. I think they're back on Friday.
Yeah,
aren't they?
okay. Well,
Next week,
I'd be surprised if he's if he doesn't have something sorted by then, he'll be at Bulldogs training
Yeah.
because he wants to get paid. But obviously they're trying to find something somewhere else, and he wants to stay in the NRL. I think he's got some bites, some nibbles, but a lot of sides at the moment, their rosters are full, so they've got to create room and move players.
Paul wants to know, why isn't Adrian Lamb considered more often for NRL jobs? He's fantastic in Super League with multiple honours, a grand final appearance, I think it's a Challenge Cup appearance, and also shown he can build teams from bottom up. Not to mention Mao's assistant at the Kangaroos, coach junior rep in Australia, plus potential PNG 18th team. Well, that may be where he can come into...
They want Wayne Bennett.
Wayne Bennett will be too old.
7-time premiership winning
By 20,
legend.
By 26, 27.
10:50 a.m.
He'll be
on
75
the,
or something.
Yeah.
He'll want to keep
2nd of
going.
November.
By 27.
And the NRL will want Wayne to do it.
By 27.
I heard you, mate.
Craig
First time.
Bellamy's more of a
Is there
chance.
an echo in here?
Craig Bellamy's more of a chance than Wayne Bennett.
Okay, well, whatever. They want a high-profile coach.
In 27.
Right.
Sorry, I was just following him.
You're parroting him.
No offence, but
But potentially, I could imagine, if it's a PNG team, maybe a Bennett or a Bellamy coach them for a couple of years, and Adrian's the assistant and then takes over.
a couple of years he'll be 80.
Well, what's wrong with that?
You know,
What's your point,
Who
mate?
should be the next NRL coach?
Wayne Bennett.
He's already an NRL coach.
Ben
Who should be?
Hornby. Ben Hornby.
Jason Rolls.
Nah.
Josh Hannay.
What do you mean, nah? What do you mean, nah?
I think he's had his go.
Riles?
He had a chance and got cold feet.
Honestly, what a gibber.
Is he a rookie coach?
Oh, I don't go there.
Yeah, Josh Hannay deserves a go.
Yeah, Josh Hannay's a good one.
He's had a crack though.
Yeah.
He's had the night watchman.
He's the Stephen Bradbury.
There
of-
are a few knocking on the door. A few young ones coming
else we
through.
got?
Well, I think you see what Hannay's done both at the Cowboys
Yeah.
and Cronulla when
Queensland.
he's filled in, and
Yeah.
the way that Billy Slater talked
He
about
probably
in
doesn't get
Queensland.
spoken about enough, Josh
Dean
Hannay.
Young.
Dean Young.
Hornby's a good one.
Blake Green's got some raps in
Oh,
Newcastle.
Blake Green
Yeah.
does, yeah. Very good, yeah. Very good.
Good question,
There's some good
Paul.
ones around. Well
Which
done, Paul.
former coach should come back?
Brian Smith
How good would
Brian
that be?
Smith. Well, Rowan Smith's another one. He's been knocking on the door a bit.
has done.
Yeah, in England. Yeah. So,
English coach. If we're going to talk about English coach or coaches,
Sean White.
then Steve McNamara.
oh,
Success.
Stevie Mack.
Tell you what, if we continue this level of input after last week's calamity with
The questions.
questions.
We don't have to do a run
We could
sheet.
do entire questions.
What did you do
pod.
there, Mick? How did you generate such interest this week?
I sent the same tweet out that I've sent for the last 2 years, I think, or 3 years. Mobbsy gave my email address last week, so we got a few.
Next is his home
email.
phone number.
Don't have a home line. Do you have a landline still?
We do. I'm getting rid of it. We don't.
We got rid of
Have a
ours not long ago. Yeah, we had.
I will
we
never.
got rid of
I've
it.
never had like.
I only just get called by marketers and people telling
How
you.
annoying is it?
You
We
owe
only
money.
had one at home to speak to our the grandparents.
Oh,
Otherwise,
yeah.
what else do you need one for?
Every now and then I like to keep, when people randomly ring you like that with electricity or some stuff, I like to keep them on the phone.
Yeah,
Just have
good
a
fun.
conversation with
I don't
them.
know,
Do you ever
like-
do that?
Do they get the shits with you at
Yeah,
the
they
end,
do,
towards the
yeah,
end when
yeah.
they figure out that
Yeah.
you're.
You got too much time on your hands if that's what you're doing.
I just do it every now and then. Just keep them honest.
Why? I'm just like, no thanks.
You know what my wife did on Monday? She went through for a couple of minutes and then basically told the person, "Is this really what you want to do with your life?"
Oh.
Sitting there
Oh, that's a bit harsh.
deceiving people,
Oh,
robbing
wow.
people
Oh,
of
the
their money,
scams.
and
Oh,
yeah,
the
the scammers.
Oh, I was texting one of those text scams. So I was texting them back, and we were having this. I was like, "How's your day going? What's going on?" He blocked me.
So you've done the same thing as I was
Texting.
talking about.
Texting.
Well,
Not on the
same
phone.
thing.
Nah, it was
Yeah.
summer holidays.
Very hypocritical.
Anyone
that's
got
it.
dinner plans? I got nothing. Got nothing on the agenda tonight.
What you got? What are you laughing at?
We spoke because I think you're going to have a go at me
Not yet.
because I want to talk about my meal from last night.
Oh, I can do that too. I
Yeah.
went for Thai last night. Very good.
I had a whole fish, but
No.
I made my own marinade.
Ooh.
Can I tell you what was in
You've
it?
lost control, Mobbsy. We're talking about tonight's.
It was a barramundi, whole barramundi.
Why don't you just pretend you're having
Garlic, rosemary.
I didn't put
Lemon.
garlic in. No rosemary, no garlic, a little bit of lemon.
You need lemon.
Lime, soy, honey, chili, ginger.
Oh, nice.
And I've got to say, the marinade was magnificent. I think I could bottle it and sell it.
You should.
And I had some
What would
time.
you call it?
I put some time on it.
What would you call it?
You know, actually, while you're on that, I had an idea for a
Don't give it away.
something a while ago.
We have lots of listeners.
Well, I think this is an old idea. Do you ever like shandy? Do you like guys like a shandy? Or shandy is half lemonade, half beer.
Yeah.
So I love a shandy. And I thought you can't buy bottled shandy. Have you ever noticed that? So I thought I would get, my wife works for 4 Pints. I said, well, we should start a beer, a bottled shandy. We call it the Randy Shandy.
Why is that
Go
Randy?
good, wouldn't it? That's a good name. How'd you know?
Trademark Brent Read.
Yeah. Do you like that? It's good, eh?
I love it.
People would buy that. I love a shandy.
I don't
Anyway, that's not dinner.
think I've ever had one.
Please write in and let us know, or mention in the comments. Do something if you would be buying Brent Reed's
Randy
Randy
Shandy.
Shandy. I
Get
need
on
to
board.
know.
Will you front it like as the
I'd be
marketing
like
campaign?
get Boo to do a cartoon and maybe put it on the label.
Yeah.
Which player would you have endorse it? What's the
Oh, Jerome, please.
Jerome? Jerome and Sean Kepi.
He'd be filthy too because Nathan's got what's
Oh,
that beer
beer.
company.
He go head to
He can go
head.
head to head with
Yeah.
him. Show he's the man.
Nice. I like
How
it.
much would you pay him? As much as Nathan's getting, or
Well, Nathan gets a cake and have a cut of the Randy Shandy. That's fine.
Randy Shandy?
Oh,
What's your food plans, Mobbsy? What do you got? What
well,
are you
no,
thinking?
I did the same thing last night. I actually went out for Thai. We had 4 dishes. We had green curry, pad ki mao, we had steamed broccoli, we had, what was the other one? Oh, the lovely pork
Isn't this
dish
supposed
as well.
to be something you're going to cook?
No,
What about him
I
sledging?
got no plans for tonight.
No,
because
you're
I
allowed to have
stuffed
takeaway. If you're
myself-
having
Okay,
takeaway
takeaway.
tonight, you're allowed to say you're having
I
takeaway.
stuffed myself so much last night.
Oh, so you're not eating?
Tonight's just going to be a soup or something, just to. How's
My
you-
wife
how's
and
the
I are on a
diet going?
diet, yeah. Oh, actually, you know what? I think I've lost a little bit more.
Nice.
Yeah, I think I've lost about 4 Ks now. I got a bit slack last night though because you know it was Halloween. My kids went trick or treating. They came.
Did you have the hose out?
I did.
Someone did ask that.
Yeah.
You know what? I left a bucket of lollies outside. No one came near the house. So our house is full of chocolates and stuff. And I just can't. Last night I had a couple of caramel koalas.
My bucket was gone like pretty
Really?
early. Yeah, it was very. And we live in a dead end street, so it's pretty quiet, but it was
Really?
going off.
Well, you didn't threaten to hose
No
the
one
kids
came
if
near
they
me.
came
No one
near.
came near the
Nah,
place.
just let the dog loose.
The hose was ready too. It's fired up.
You're such a hater.
What are you doing for dinner?
Wait, I've got Mum made some Greek soup
Hold
that
on.
we've got.
Your mum's cooking for you. Are you serious?
Yes.
How old are you?
What's wrong with that?
What's in Greek soup?
It's called avalanche. So
Sorry,
it's,
what?
it's like a chicken. It's like
What's
a
it
chicken salt. Avalanche.
How do you spell that?
AVE.
Got him.
What's in it?
Beautiful. It's my favorite.
Chicken?
Chicken. It's chicken sauce.
It's chicken soup.
Chicken soup.
Okay.
It's not chicken soup. It's better than chicken soup.
Corn in there?
Yeah.
Cream? Cream corn?
They have corn with chicken soup.
No, not in this one.
Oh. What do Greeks have in there?
Rice.
Rice in the soup.
Yeah.
Well, this is peculiar. This is strange.
Oh.
Have you ever heard of such a thing?
No, I haven't.
It is the best. Any
gotta bring some in.
Greek listeners would be.
Can I ask a question about the rice? Does it not go gluggy and stuff? It's in soup
mate,
for
it
too
is
long?
so nice.
Really?
Trust me.
Why don't you bring some in for Mobbsy or not?
Yeah. Well,
Maybe.
I'll have
Let
to.
us be the judge of whether it's
then
nice
you're
or
going to
not.
say, oh, my mum's going to cook for you, is she?
Could she?
Oh, now you're in. Now
Yeah,
you're
oh,
in.
hey, I'd like to say I never said anything about your mum cooking for you. So.
That seems strange to me. Rice
What?
in the soup.
And then my
It's-
mum's cooking for me. Mum cooks probably
the
once a week
rice
for
is
us.
in the soup. It seems peculiar.
Betcha I'm not the only Greek whose mum still cooks for him sometimes.
Okay.
Probably at your age though, probably the oldest.
Yeah.
No way. He cooks for my sisters. They're older than me.
Well, she cooked like a big pot of this soup and share it amongst the family.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Looks after the little one and we'll go home with the food.
Oh, wow.
So you let her cook and babysit, and then you go home with.
She do your
big-
washing as well, pal, or what?
Not anymore.
Do your ironing? Clearly not.
Not anymore.
It's a bit creased, that shirt. Anyway,
Linen.
even I ironed my shirt this week.
Yeah, I like that.
All right, see you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nice. We're
great
out.
chat.